Welcome back, everybody. We are going to try and catch Ho-Oh today. Time permitting, we'll catch Lugia and Deoxys. That's the plan. We need all three. Will it happen? Doubtful all in one stream, but I'll do what I can. I got some stubble coming in, but I fasted Monday, Tuesday, and most of Wednesday, and then I had to have dinner because my body was like, okay, you've done as much as you can. Maybe have a bite. So. But hopefully, like I said yesterday, by the end of the year, we can lose a lot of this face fat. Oh. You can tell it's my obsession. Hello. Hello, fellow trainer. Yeah, Ho-Oh has recovered. Not gonna be easy to deal with. Really? You need to paralyze him. There we go. Fire blast. Oh yeah, I need to work on your accuracy. I need to lower Ho-Oh's accuracy down. It's so bright. I need you to stop using recover. So it's not going to do a lot of damage as long as the sun is bright. Now watch. First thing it's going to do is it's going to take advantage of the fact that Raichu's out there. It's going to fire blast me into oblivion. Yay, the sunlight faded. I don't think the sunlight being strong has any effect on move accuracy. Well, other than solar beam becomes, you know, a one-turn move. Just like when it's raining, thunder becomes I think 100% accuracy. And I think Pokemon with Rain Dish will heal every turn. I think that's cast form changes. Certain things happen. Maybe Pokemon with dry skin heal. I can't remember every little thing that's weather related. Pokemon's getting increasingly large. It's in scale. In scale. Starting to get a little hard to keep track of all the moves and all the abilities and all the special stuff. You know what I mean? I'm gonna Thunderbolt. It used recover. Now, of course, Lugia, Ho, and Deoxys were not in the original Red, obviously, duh. But it was a nice touch for them to add them here. They were event Pokemon, though. You had to go to a Nintendo event and get the item to unlock. But for the re-release on the Switch, they just kind of give it to you when you defeat the Pokemon League. They programmed it to just put the items in your bag, which was nice. I'm glad they did that. That was a nice touch. Maybe you can talk some sense into Ho-Oh here. I can't attack it. Already paralyzed. Its accuracy is shot. So Struggle's going to take it out eventually. But it doesn't hit me every turn, so it buys me time. I can't get him to stay in any of the Pokeballs. I've tried everything. The higher grade, the higher, yeah, grades, and then off to college. Have you decided what you're going to do yet? Oh, that was so close. Robotic engineering. I feel like you told me that before, and I just have a hard time with remembering. I couldn't even remember. One more struggle and it's down for the count. Star Wars inspired you. I feel like Star Wars inspired multiple generations. Yeah. I beg you and everybody not to take it personal when I don't remember things you've told me. I've done a lot of damage to my brain over the years. So it's not malicious. Build C3PO. What I want to know, and maybe this has been, well, never mind. I guess that answered its own self before I even asked it. I was going to say, how did, well, Anakin built C3PO, or so he claims, but did he just like put a unit back together out of spare parts, or did he literally build the only version of it in existence? I feel like C3PO met other C3POs in the Star Wars movies at some point, because he knew so many languages. Oh no! Oh, flew away! Well, We certainly can't win them all. C-3PO is unique after other robots similar to him aren't the same. Okay, so he is unique. Okay. Then where the hell did Anakin learn trillions of different languages across space and time? Is that a plot hole, or am I just being, you know, my nitpicky? Similar, but not the same. Remember how tedious healing used to be in Pokemon games? Do other RPGs have a heal all button? Like your Final Fantasies and whatnot? Or do you have to go in there and just potion, 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 potion. Phoenix down, potion, 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 Phoenix down, potion. Each protocol droid is assigned to download, store, and process over. Oh, so he was downloading those languages. Okay. Whatever version of the internet they would have. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, well, we didn't exactly have the best luck in the world with Ho-Oh, so let's see how we do. Lugia. Guardian of the Seas. I'm gonna light you up. You're already using Recover? On the first turn? Ah, there's our paralysis. Okay, wheel. Tyler and I started playing the Lego Star Wars, but then he kind of got a little bored with it. So I think I'm going to play through that by himself. I am going to play it, though. Probably be later on, maybe in a few months, but it's, I do have it. It's all 9 movies. Should be good. Should be fun. I think Star Wars is okay. I don't hate it. Well, she was Anakin's daughter, so I'd assume she knows the Force, yeah. Did she ever tap into it and learn how to use it? No. Not that we saw or heard of, anyway. She did save herself that one time she was blown out of a spaceship into space. Last 3 sequels are not canon. Well, as much as you might not want them to be, they'll die on that hill. We'll do pedal dance. Bam! Oh, that did not do much. The community doesn't view them as canon, only Disney. Well, Disney's the one who own it, and they're the ones who'll keep making more movies, so... Body Slayer. Lucha! Oh, Lucha! Lugia is going to be a whole different monster to deal with. Let's see. How do I want to handle this? First order of business. You're already paralyzed. We wasted a handful of turns and people's valuable time dicking around with Vileplume. Oh my god. That was a critical hit. Yeah, I should probably... The death of Jar Jar. I want to know how in the world he thought Jar Jar Binks was okay. Goddamn George Lucas. You know what? If I were in charge, I would just take all the fan theories out there and put them in the next movie. Nobody does that. Well, Jar Jar Binks is kind of like a racist caricature. He's an Aunt Jemima stereotype. I can't do the voice or I'll get in trouble, but just Google it. Google will explain what I can't while I'm streaming. Well, I mean, yes and no. I found Jar Jar Binks to be highly annoying. I hate him. Like, I could see what George Lucas was going for. He was trying to... Now we got Lugia, but not Ho-Oh. I told you that was going to happen. It is said to be the guardian of the seas. It is rumored to have been seen on the night of the storm. Or a storm. I can see what George Lucas was going for. He was going for a character so incredibly annoying, but you love him anyway, and he's enduring. Or endearing. No, he's just annoying as all shit, and I hate him. I hate him. Sometimes that works with characters, sometimes it doesn't. It's a hit or miss thing, and with Jar Jar Binks, it was a miss. Well, I do feel that some instances today people can be a little soft and a little touchy feely when it comes to things. But I also think a blanket statement like that is very dangerous. You know, you're getting into, you're coming perilously close to like right wing conservative territory of like, I'm allowed to say whatever I want with no consequences. That's, now don't get me wrong, we all have freedom of speech. We could say whatever we want, but sometimes there are just things you shouldn't say. Wait, I'll take the boat back. And see, some people will find him goofy and some people will find him annoying. And it's just a case of, I personally can't stand him and find him annoying. You find him endearing and you love him. And that's totally fine. Like, it works for both of us, you know what I mean? Whoopsies. I don't know. That's how do I do this? I'm not saying I can't take a joke, and I'm not saying that people shouldn't be allowed to poke fun at stuff. I love satire. I think offensive humor is really funny. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I think it's about, I think a lot of it's time and place. I don't know. We're gonna go to Birth. We're gonna go to Birth Island. Like, here's my hot take. And I promise I'm not going to go off on a thing. I just want to add this real quick. Take 2 seconds. I don't think we should use slurs in everyday society. I think if you're at a buddy's house and you want to make an off-color joke or a comment or throw a slur at your buddy, go ahead, do what you want. I don't think you're hurting nobody. But like using it in media, using it out in the world, using it at work or at school or in a public setting, yeah, that's a big no-no to use slurs. But I do agree with you on the fact that I think every generation that comes next is a little bit softer than the one that came before it, which can be both a good and a bad thing because you have people my grandparents' age, and I'm pretty sure you've heard this joke before. When I was a kid, we walked 10 miles to school barefoot in the snow. We knew how to be tough and hard. We went through World War II. We weren't pussies like you kids today. The next generation. We had Woodstock. We did a lot of drugs, man. We dropped acid and explored our sexuality and did all these crazy things. And we bucked against the man and, tried to get the man not to go to war. Peace, man. We weren't pussies like you kids today. Then the next generation's like, yeah, we don't really do the drug thing. We, every generation is a little more progressive than the one came before it. But sometimes if you have the purview of being able to look from your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents, and then their parents, you can see a broad, wide scale of both generations, both becoming a little softer and becoming more progressive, which is why conservatives exist in the first place. Some people like tradition. They like hanging on to old-fashioned things that make them feel good. And in a bubble, that's fine. I really don't have any beef with that. I really don't. Sometimes traditions can be great. Holidays and personal traditions you or your family might have set up. I understand that totally fine. And like the whole trad family thing, I'm not against anybody living their best life. I don't have any intentions of telling anybody, period, how to live their life. It's just all about broad sweeping generalizations. And I think that that's one of the biggest problems we have today in society is that everybody tends to, you know, when they see something they don't like, they need everybody around them to know right then and right there that they don't like it. You know what I mean? People in World War II faked their age. Oh, yeah, they did. They did big time. And Uncle Sam was all too willing to look the other way. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm of two minds on that. On the one hand, I don't like war. I think war is stupid. But at the same time, it's World War II. You're trying to stop Hitler and the Nazis, so you got to do what you got to do, you know. Had I been around at the time, I would have signed up. I probably would have died, but I still would have signed up. You got to stop Hitler. You got to. But as far as like sending kids off to war, I'm totally against sending anybody underage off to war unless it is the most extreme emergency you could possibly imagine. You know what I mean? Oh, you said World War One, not two. Oh, they did it a lot in both. Every war back in the day, I think they really cracked down on it in our day and age. Like today, I think they would kind of be able to tell real fast if you're underage joining the military because of technology and the internet and the paper. We use electronics now instead of paper, so I think they'd catch you in a hurry. But I don't know. Sometimes you gotta bend the rules to do what you gotta do. We were an entire race, entire species at war with one another. So did that turn my face cam off? Holy crap. My keyboard. Oh, I thought you meant my keyboard. This is gonna be fun. Okay. So they added Lugia and Ho-Oh as DLC for this game. Then they added Deoxys. Weird that Deoxys was added to FireRed and Leaf Green instead of the games that it originates or the generation it originates from, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. But for whatever reason, they kind of shook hands and flip flopped it. So Mew is actually an event in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, whereas Deoxys is the event in FireRed and Leaf Green. So they, you know. But for this puzzle, you have to specifically interact with this triangle in a very specific order, or it will reset. Um, Ooh, this puzzle is wrong. How do I solve the Deoxys? I don't want to watch a fucking YouTube video. I just want you to tell me. Black triangle. Touch it incorrectly. I'm not. You're a bitch. What? I don't understand this puzzle, and I hate it. I never understood this puzzle back in the day when I used to do it on emulators and stuff. I'm just gonna fucking ask AI. Because fuck this. Google ain't helping worth a goddamn. Help me. Help me, Gemini. Step by step. Walk straight up to the black triangle from below and press A. Press left 5 times, down 1 time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. So I have to walk in a specific pattern. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 3 times. Oh my God. Over. No, you fucked me. God damn it. One, two, three. Right 5 times. Right. That's not right either. Hang on a minute. You son of a bitch. Wait, they're the one for Emerald. So is he an Emerald as well? Is Deoxys an Emerald? Was I wrong? Did I give these people incorrect information? Straight at the bottom of the black triangle, press A. Walk down 1 space. 3 spaces, 5 space, press A. Walk down 5 spaces. I can't walk down 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no way. No! I hate it. I hate this puzzle. So fucking much do I hate this bullshit. Fuck it. We did it without the internet's help. Yeah, sir. See, that's a tough question that you asked earlier. Do I think it's okay for teenagers willing to go to war because they generally want to fight for the country? No. No, no. I think a teenager is still a child. Jackson! You little shit. Okay, let me get now. Now that we're reset back in. Okay. You said earlier you're really into evolution and self-awareness recently. That's good. When I was around your age and through a good bit of my 20s, I was obsessed with philosophy, and I don't necessarily mean like textbook philosophy and digging my nose into a bunch of old dead guys. I mean the general principle of philosophy and self-discovery and trying to reach out and connect with the cosmos and understand the nature of the universe. I grew up, I was raised as a Southern Baptist Christian and then into a denominational Christian. And when I finally got into my teen years, my late teen years, I had the autonomy, you know, and the freedom to like break away from my parents and their, you know, rules and finger wagging. And I could explore the world and do all the research that I wanted to do. The internet was finally kicking off and becoming a more prominent tool. So I was able to just constantly like soul search and soul search and soul search and learn everything that the public school system had failed to teach me. And here I am today. I want to say it was a really good journey, but I highly recommend not going down certain rabbit holes with certain individuals. There is an entire culture on the internet of men who like to target people about your age and a little older and teach them a whole bunch of just horrible, horrible stuff. You know, you hear about these red pill community and that pill community and this pill and that pill and this pill and that pill, which is, they got all that from the Matrix. You know, do you want to take the blue pill or the red pill? Do you want to go back to sleep or do you want to wake up? And then Reddit became a thing and all these little communities started of, you know, you have a lot of incels that are mad at women because they don't know what they're doing. They think that a woman is property just for banging and they don't treat them as a living thing with, you know, their own life and autonomy and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of bullshit that you'll encounter on the internet if you're not very careful about what you watch and who you listen to. Oh, hell no. They know. They know. I tell them constantly, I don't believe what they believe. They know. They are fully aware. They're not happy about it, but they know. I feel like there's not really much I can do with Deoxys here other than just throw Pokeballs. I'm sure they do, in the way that a parent loves a child. But I think sometimes, you know, a child can tell when they didn't follow a certain path or live up to the expectations that the parents had. Especially, like, you have to think about a few things. You have to think about what generation your parents are from, what part of the world they're from. There are always going to be social pressures on them as well from their peers and their family and so on and so forth. Cultural norms and society that drive what your parents think you should be or what you should do or who you should become. There are going to be these just tons of X factors that are kind of trying to cut their way into your reality. But at the end of the day, it's best just to do you and be you and not do or be or say anything just because you feel like person X over here wants it. But I feel like you already know that and everybody kind of already knows that. So I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, but I think your generation's going to do a little bit better than what my generation did. Because when we were kids, we didn't have the internet. So we had to learn how to use it when it was brand new. You guys know when you get online to be very cautious about who you believe, who you listen to, what they have to say. Like, it would be stupid to come into my community and listen to everything I have to say. You know what I mean? You should challenge everything I say. If I say something and it doesn't feel right or seem right, question it, Google it, ask as many people as you can. That's a smart way to live. But, yeah. Because I feel like my dad, you know, my dad was born in 1960. So he grew up as a kid in the 60s and as a teenager in the 70s. So he would have been like, that's the cast of that 70s show, kinda. But you're also talking about Alabama. So you're talking about, you know, a lot of white culture, a lot of redneckisms. My dad always worked on cars. He and my uncles will always go look at cars for sale, talk about cars. Always working on something, you know, very stereotypical American dad, you know. Now, why was Deoxys so easy to catch? Why did Ho-Oh make us smash our head against the rock? Why, Ho-Oh, why? This Deoxys has transformed into its aggressive guise. It can fool enemies by altering its appearance. Yeah, that's what's nutso about the United States is every state has its own microclimate or microculture, and then there are microcultures inside of those cultures. It's definitely a, you know, a spectrum. But I can't believe Deoxys let us catch him like that. Damn, son. Yeah. All right. Take us home, sir. You guys, we did it. We battled Ho-Oh, Lugia, and Face. And we managed to catch 2 of the 3. It's not bad. And I think this concludes our Pokemon FireRed playthrough.